Good morning, everyone. How is everyone feeling today? Are you feeling awesome? I heard awesome. Welcome to Unity of Tucson. I'm Reverend Jonathan Zenz. I am the senior minister here. And I want to just let you know. So we've been having an experience over these last couple years, and the experience has affected the way we experience our Sunday mornings. A lot of the guidance that we have received has been from this magnificent gentleman, Dr. Ed Savard, who is a retired epidemiologist, and he has an announcement for us today. Yep.
Good morning. You do not have to wear these anywhere. Unless you feel, if you feel more comfortable wearing it, go ahead. But you don't need this again. Unless we tell you something as terrible has happened and you got to go back to it. Hopefully that won't happen, okay? All right?
So, feel free to take the masks off. If you feel more comfortable wearing the masks, continue to wear the masks. It is your decision. Let's start this day off by celebrating love as we do. Love is in the air, everywhere I look around. Love is in the air, every sight and every sound. And I know that I'm not being foolish. I know that I'm being wise. And it's something that I must believe in. And it's there when I look in your eyes. Love is in the air, in the whisper every sight and every sound. And I know that I'm not being foolish. I know that I'm being wise. And it's something that I must believe in. And it's there when I look in your eyes. Love is in the air. Love is in the air. Oh. Love is in the air. 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 Well, I'm feeling good today. I don't know if you can tell. I've got a lot of energy. I slept in today, so that's, I think, why I've got a little more energy. I slept in until 5 o'clock. So once again, good morning, beautiful humans. It is such a pleasure to see all your beautiful faces. Oh, welcome to another glorious Sunday, high energy celebration here at Unity of Tucson. We are a spiritual community. We are here to teach practical tools for a better life. That is what we are here to do, to understand that spirituality is a great idea, but when we put it to practical use in our lives, well, then that's what makes our lives better. As I say every single day when I have my midday mindful moment video on Facebook and YouTube, I say, engaging spiritual practice consistently and regularly has made my life better. And so that's what has drawn me to live in this thing called ministry, to let you know that the engagement of spiritual practice in your life perhaps can make your lives better too. So we're going to celebrate that today. And we're especially going to celebrate the theme of this month, which of course is the power of love. The power of love. We are that's not what I wanted to say. That's not the sentence that I wanted to have come out of my mouth. You ever have that happen? You're like, something is happening in your mind and the mouth doesn't match? What I wanted to say was, you may not believe everything you hear today. You may not believe everything you hear today. And you know what? That's okay. Because part of this journey, part of this exploration is to deepen into figuring out what it is you do believe. And I do think you will hear something that you will believe, and it is your beliefs that set the expression of your life, that create your experience of life. As the great Master Jesus said, it is done unto you as you believe. And so that's what we're going to celebrate. You are here on purpose, whether you know it or not, as well. Yeah. Yes. We have a vision and a mission here at Unity of Tucson that I would love for us to share. Let's share first together the words of our vision statement. We envision a world awakened to its magnificence. That's how we see the world. And how we get there is through the activity of our mission. So let's speak the words of our mission together. Love only, forgive everything, remember who you are. Love only, forgive everything, and remember who you are. If you are joining us for the first time today, I want to acknowledge everyone who may be joining us for the first time online. Grateful to have you with us in this virtual capacity and know that we feel your energy, we feel your presence right here in this room because we're all connected. If you would like to let us know that you're watching for the first time today, we'd love for you to go to unitytucson.com/connect and fill out the information there, and we will be sure to be in connection with you. And grateful, as I said, to have you here. If you are joining us for the first time in person and you are in this room, well, if you are comfortable identifying yourself by standing up, we have a gift that we would like to give to you. So is there anyone who's joining us for the first time today? Welcome, grateful to have you here. Grateful to have you here. And if you remain standing for just a moment, William's going to bring a gift for you. And William, we have somebody in the front row as well. Oh, you're here. I didn't even see you. Hello. Grateful to have you here as well. And wonderful to have you here. So I want you to know, we have done some research into you because we knew you were going to be joining us today. Right, everyone? Yeah. So here's what it is that we know about you. Ready, everyone? 1, 2, 3. You are magnificent. You are absolutely magnificent, and I'm grateful that you are shining your light and sharing your magnificence. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Now, we know this about you because you are a reflection. Every single person we encounter is a reflection of that which is inherent within ourselves. And so, I think it is important that we understand that when we see someone else's magnificence, it is a reflection of our own magnificence. So let's exclaim this together. I am magnificent. Let's do it one more time and really feel it. I am magnificent. I would like you to know, a couple weeks ago I talked about my blue boots. And that I said I was going to wear them on Rodeo Sunday, which today is Rodeo Sunday. I put these boots on, and apparently 15 years after I wore them in that show, my feet have spread. But I wanted to let you know, the boots shrunk, that's funny. I wanted to let you know that these are the boots, the blue boots that I was telling you about. Yeah. I would love for you to welcome today's Keeper of the Flames. Would you please welcome Lynn Peterson to the stage? Lynn, who also happens to be my mother, is here to help out with this ritual that we engage in each week called lighting the flames of faith. What we're acknowledging as we light each one of these candles for each of the major faith traditions of the world is that they are each and every one of them rooted in a divine golden thread of love. And so let's celebrate that at the core of all religion, all faith traditions, all spiritual ideas. So we begin by lighting a candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light a candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous people, the way of primal spirituality. We light a candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light a candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light a candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light a candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light a candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the divine will of love as the highest calling. We light a candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light a candle for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. And we light a candle for all faith traditions unnamed in this ceremony. And for any seekers who may be as yet unaware of the power and the presence of this creative energy, Spirit, God, this universal force that has created all that is, and for the space that we keep open for them in our own hearts. This final candle we light, we call the healing candle, as it represents the healing of any circumstance that requires the uncovering of the divine essence at its core. For that is how we teach healing within this philosophy, the uncovering of the God at the core of all creation. So there is that within each and every one of us, the core of each and every one of us, which is divine. It is the I am that I am. And this candle is for those parts of us that require the light. So this candle is for all of us in the places that we require that light.
Yes.
Howdy.
Hi.
So Lynn is going to talk about the homework that I gave last week. If you're new to our community, I give homework every week as part of my Sunday message. The reason that I do this is because, as I said, this is about putting this practice into use, to be practical in our spirituality and utilizing it in our lives, not just feeling good on a Sunday morning, although I think that's good too. So the homework I gave last week was this: say yes to things this week that bring up fear in you. Tell your fear that your love is greater than that fear. So, I would love to know what happened for you this week.
2 things. One happened just a little while ago this morning.
Okay.
I don't wear hats. I think I've expressed that before to you. I never wear a hat. So I was offered a hat because it's Rodeo Sunday, and I'm not wearing a hat.
It's a very nice hat, yes.
Thank you, Mary. The second thing actually happened at the beginning of the week. As a lot of people know, I teach special ed, and I have some very, very special students, one of which is a 9th grader with advanced autism. He has sensitivity issues, he has anxiety, he doesn't come to school. We have made him arrangements to where he only has to come 2 days a week. That has not even worked. So we had a meeting with him and his mother on Monday, and he seems to like me, which is nice, and he agreed to come every day of the week in the morning from 8:30 till 12, as long as he can be with just me. That's a big fear.
Yeah.
One, I don't know if he's going to hold to it, but that's secondary. Big fear is I have 22 other kids that I work with, which means my entire schedule is now having to be changed, which is really scary because I also held a district position, which is very time consuming. That has to be all arranged. And I have 4 hours in the afternoon or 3 hours after lunch to get everything done other than him. And I agreed to it. Just so I could get him to come to school. He's a 9th grader, he's not earning any credits, and if he doesn't earn credits, he can't graduate high school, so if this is what helps him, then I have to do it. No matter what fear it puts in me that I'm not gonna be able to do the rest of my job. And that was the fear.
Yeah.
That's it.
Love is greater than your fear, and that what you've done is a reflection of the love that you have within, and so I think that should be applauded. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm so grateful for the keepers of the flames who get up every week and lovingly share their journey as, just as a demonstration that we can all put this to use in our lives. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. We are continuing. Taking off the hat now. I see what's happening. We are continuing our celebration of the season for nonviolence, which is sponsored by the Association for Global New Thought. And each week we've been inviting someone in our community, a group of people that we have identified. And I've been saying peacekeepers every week. And you know what? I'm always intended for it to be peacemakers, because blessed are the peacemakers, right? And so I would like to introduce today's peacemaker as she offers this week's quotes and affirmation and practice. Please welcome Sherry Bolin.
Bright lights up here.
Yeah.
Whew. Yeah. Our peace and nonviolence practice this week is forgiveness. Actively practicing nonviolence is to live life from a commitment to love. Martin Luther King taught his followers to reject all thought of revenge, aggression, retaliation, and the like, no matter what they faced, and to forgive, love, and even build relationships of common cause with their enemies, avoiding any kind of internal violence of spirit. Darkness cannot drive out darkness, Dr. King famously said. Only light can do that. Our light, our love. They're so badly needed in today's world. Nelson Mandela said, upon being released from prison after 27 years, as I walked out the door toward my freedom, I knew if I did not leave all the anger, hatred, and bitterness behind, I would still be in prison. Resentment is like drinking poison and then hoping it will kill your enemies. He did go on to build a relationship with his former enemy, President de Klerk, and they successfully negotiated the end of apartheid in South Africa. They both then became Nobel laureates. About that issue of healing the harm we do to ourselves by holding on to that poison of resentment, Charles Fillmore said, "Here is a mental treatment that is guaranteed to cure every ill that flesh is heir to. Sit for half an hour every night and mentally forgive everyone against whom you have any ill will or antipathy. If you fear or if you are prejudiced against or have harmed even an animal, mentally ask their forgiveness in the silence and send thoughts of love. See all things and all persons as they really are, pure spirit, and send them your strongest thoughts of love. Do not go to bed any night feeling that you have an enemy in the world." With these ideas in mind, let's share this week's affirmation, and then we'll move on to the peace practice for this week. First, I'll say the affirmation through once. And as I do, I invite you to really take in the words. This is the affirmation. I activate forgiveness right now and free myself from the grip of the past. Now let's say that together as a community. I activate forgiveness right now and free myself from the grip of the past. And one more time, if you would. I activate forgiveness right now and free myself from the grip of the past. Let's move on now to our peace practice for the week. I invite you to relax in your seat and take some slow, conscious, deep breaths until you settle into a comfortable rhythm. Many people find it helpful to imagine breathing through their heart. Stay aware of your breath and do a quick body scan, gently releasing any tightness you find anywhere in your body. Close your eyes now, if you're comfortable doing so, and place one hand over your heart. Put on a Mona Lisa smile. This all helps you stay conscious of that warm, powerful divine love of yours, always flowing within you. As we proceed, try to stay aware of the breath going in and out of your nostrils. This will help you to stay grounded in the here and the now. We will spend a few minutes now with a Buddhist prayer of forgiveness, with a slight adaptation at the end. There are 5 steps. I will speak each step out loud and invite you then to repeat the words silently to yourself during the pause that follows, with compassion, with loving kindness, perhaps even widening that smile a bit. It will calm you. As we go through the steps of this prayer, try to take notice of the people and situations that come up in your awareness. Here is step 1. If I have harmed anyone in any way, either knowingly or unknowingly, through my confusions, I ask their forgiveness. Step 2. If anyone has harmed me in any way, either knowingly or unknowingly, I ask forgiveness for this as well. If there is a situation, this is number 3, by the way. If there is a situation I am not ready to forgive, I forgive myself for that as well. Step 4. For all the ways I harm myself, negate, doubt, or belittle myself, judge, or be unkind to myself through my own confusions, I forgive myself. And to conclude with step 5, I send strong vibes of love, of joy, of inner peace to everyone who came to mind during this practice, including myself.
Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Right here in this moment, let us take a breath as we engage in this practice of affirmative prayer. I root myself in the awareness of the One, the infinite power, the presence, which is all there is, God, love, infinite creative source, the universal presence, omniscience, omnipotence, and omnipresence. And I know and allow a deep understanding at the heart space that this is our core identity, each and every one of us. We are the expression of this magnificent power which has impressed itself upon this thing called itself to create all that is. It is the most loving act of God upon itself. And all creation is the result. Knowing this, knowing that our core identity is divine, I know that this word I speak now is backed by the infinite power of creation. And so I speak my word on behalf of each and every one of us to know that we are rooted in a celebration of love only. That there is that within each and every one of us that gives over to the practice and the experience of forgiveness. And in this, as this, rooted in the magnificent light at the core of our being and allowing that to spread forth, I know that this practice of knowing who we are awakens this magnificent world to its magnificence. And so I give over with gratitude to my activity and the activity of each and every one of us to be rooted in these principles. It is with gratitude overflowing from within that I simply relax, release, let go, and allow. And so it is. Amen. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Repeat that last line. Be still and know. One more time. Be still and know. Thank you, Sherry, for that magnificent practice. You may have become accustomed to me introducing a prayer chaplain at this point to do a reading. This week, I was invited to offer the reading, and with everything that's happening in the world, and I don't want us to get down into the dumps about, the challenges and the ills and the horrible things that happen in the world, but I do think that it is important that we also have an awareness that these things are happening and that we not bury our heads in the sand, that we allow ourselves to recognize and see the effects in the world and know that there is that within each and every one of us that can address and create change by being the light, by being the love, by being the essence of kindness. And that as we allow ourselves to do that, we create a consciousness worldwide that is in alignment with that. So I wanted to do a reading this week that has been going around in my social media sphere by many of my colleagues. This is something that was written more than half a century ago. It is titled A Prayer for World Peace by Ernest Holmes. I know there is but one mind, which is the mind of God, in which all people live and move and have their being. I know there is a divine pattern for humanity, and within this pattern, there is infinite harmony and peace, cooperation, unity, and mutual helpfulness. I know that the mind of man, being one with the mind of God, shall discover the method, the way, and the means best fitted to permit the flow of divine love between individuals and nations. Thus, harmony, peace, cooperation, unity, and mutual helpfulness will be experienced by all. I know there shall be a free interchange of ideas, of cultures, of spiritual concepts, of ethics, of educational systems, and of scientific discoveries, for all good belongs to all alike. I know that because the divine mind has created us all, we are bound together in one infinite and perfect unity. In bringing about world peace, I know that all people and all nations will remain individual, but unified for the common purpose of promoting peace, happiness, harmony, and prosperity. I know that deep within every person, the divine pattern of perfect peace is already implanted. I declare now that in each person and in leaders of thought everywhere, this divine pattern moves into action and form to the end that all nations and all people shall live together in peace, harmony, and prosperity forever. So it is now. One of the things that we've set aside during the season for nonviolence is a reflection and a remembering that we have a candle over here that I haven't talked about in almost 2 months. This is our peace candle. And if you're unfamiliar with the peace candle, if this is your first time hearing about it, we keep the peace candle consistently illuminated as it reflects the consistent illumination of peace in our own hearts. And as we allow that peace to inform our thoughts, inform our actions, and inform our intentions, we collectively create peaceful experiences in this world. So let's honor this candle as we have in the past and will continue to do in the future by reading together the prayer for world peace. Divine love indwells each person and radiates from one to another. Harmony is established and peace begins to reign in the world. Indeed it does. How are y'all feeling? Good. Yes, I heard somebody said magnificent. I love it. I chose this song as it was a request from a member of our community some time back, and you will probably recognize the song. Bows and flows of angel hair and ice cream castles in the air and feather canyons everywhere. I've looked at clouds that way, but now they only block the sun. They rain and snow on everyone. So many things I would have done, the clouds got in my way. I've looked at clouds from both sides now, from up and down, and still somehow it's cloud illusions I recall. I really don't know clouds at all. Moons and Junes and Ferris wheels, the dizzy dancing way you feel as every fairy tale comes real. I've looked at love that way, but now it's just another show. You leave 'em laughing when you go, and if you care, don't let them know. Don't give yourself away. I've looked at love from both sides now, give and take, and still somehow it's love's illusions I recall. I really don't know love at all. Tears and fears and feeling proud to say I love you right out loud. Dreams and schemes and circus crowds, I've looked at life that way. But now old friends are acting strange. They shake their heads, they say I've changed, but something's lost, but something's gained in living every day. I've looked at life from both sides Thank you. It was a bit of an inspiration to talk about illusion today, because this song is addressing kind of the illusion that we create in our lives on both sides of every equation. You know, there's a polarity to this thing called life, and we experience life in polarity, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just there's no power in the stuff out there. And that's the thing that I think we need to consistently remind ourselves. There's no power in the stuff out there. The only power that exists is the infinite power that is the core of each and every one of us. We are that power. And we create our lives according to our thoughts, according to our beliefs, and according to our feelings. So everything that shows up is rooted in the creative power of the infinite that is expressed as and through us. There's a meme. I like social media. I know I'm probably a rarity. There's a meme that has gone around recently that I just loved, and I wanted to share the structure of this meme with you. Know what a meme is? It's one of those things that goes viral. It's like a graphic thing. It goes viral in social media on Facebook or Instagram or wherever. There is a meme that I wanted to share with you. And the text of the meme says this. It's quoting somebody. It doesn't say who it's quoting, but I'm going to speak as though I'm this particular person. Late last night, Miles went on and on about how he had to be twins with a boy in his class for Twin Day because they looked exactly the same. Same eyes, same hair. He was adamant that they were identical. So, after the kids went to bed, I headed to Walmart at 9 p.m. to get matching outfits. The teacher the next day sent me this picture. My heart melted. Obviously, they are two very different children, but Miles didn't see that. We live in a world where we're being forced to confront how we see difference in this world and how we relate to perceptions of difference in this world. Now, this story is not about being colorblind, but it's about deepening into the understanding that we do not need to let color be a factor in knowing how we are connected. We are living in a world that is plagued by a sense of separateness. We see it playing out in so many arenas, in so many different ways. And, you know, a lot of people are saying, wow, it seems so far beyond anything we've ever experienced before. But you know what? I don't agree with that. I think we're seeing a cycle. And the cycle will resolve itself. But what it takes for that cycle to resolve itself is the magnificent expression of love from within each and every one of us, to be the point from which we decide to create. That's how we collectively end the cycle, and it is not up to us to expect it to be done by anybody else. Today, as we ostensibly find ourselves at the end of our exploration of the power of love, as we have done this entire month of February, I'm interested in seeing love from both sides. The illusion, as well as that which is behind the illusion. And we spend a lot of times veiling ourselves using illusion. It's time to see past the illusion. To see past the illusion, here's what we need to do. Maybe we need to stop creating illusions and putting the power in those illusions. Maybe it's time to do that once and for all, to not let our imagination so overtake us with the construct of illusion in our lives that we start to believe that there is some power in that. It does not exist. We are the ones who are creating the illusion. We are the ones who are utilizing our imagination. And so I say, let us imagine a better world. Let us imagine a better world. I brought my no drama llama cup up today. There's a llama on it. This is my favorite cup. This is the cup that I use in my office. And on the side, it says no drama. So that as I drink, I am reminded, no drama. The reason that I wanted to bring it up is because I started to think about the construct of cups. Anyone have mugs? Probably everyone has their favorite mug, right? Probably has some lovely image or some lovely saying on it. Imagine yourself like a mug. I want you to go with me on this. Imagine yourself like a mug. And on the exterior of the mug are all the decisions you have made about yourself and how you will show up in the world. We label the selves on the exterior of that mug. And there are many, many roles we take on, right? There are many ways that we express ourselves and we label ourselves. A lot of them may not be in alignment with the greatest expression and experience of life that we want to have. It might be the label of the fearful self, the self that needs to prove its value, the needy self or the prideful self, the angry, the fearful, the shameful, the worthless self. It's depressing, isn't it? We are consistently reminded by society that those are the labels that we should take on. Why does society uphold those labels? Well, because it means that we will buy something to fix it. You cannot buy anything to fix that consciousness once you've adopted it. There's only one way to combat that consciousness once you've adopted it, and that is to adopt a new consciousness, a new conscious idea, a new label for yourself. Now, what's written on the mug is not what is contained in the mug. What would it take to turn your focus and attention away from what is written on the mug and begin to turn it toward the contents of the mug? Because what is within the mug is the true self, unaffected by any label that has ever been placed upon it. Emily Cady offers this. If you keep your thoughts turned toward the external of yourself or others, that's the outside of the mug, you will see only the image. You will see only the things that are not real, but temporal, and that will pass away. If you keep your thoughts turned toward the external of yourself or others, you will see only the things that are not real, but temporal, and that will pass away. Part of the practice is to allow ourselves to accept and adopt into our hearts that all creation, everything that exists in form, is temporal and will pass away. And we have the capacity to direct the way that works in our lives. Imagine the true self contained within the mug, not identified through worldly illusion. Imagine what that would be if we stopped identifying ourselves with the stuff that we have placed in our shield and veiled our eyesight with and allowed ourselves to magnificently glow from within the truth of our being, to such a degree that that light cannot be hidden. How do we access that truth and let it be reflected in our lives? Well, that's the practice, right? That's what we're constantly coming here on a Sunday to maybe learn how to do, to embody a practice a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. I think the most important practice that we can embody is the practice of compassion, unconditional love. And let that be the way we allow ourselves to experience the world. I was listening to a podcast recently. I love podcasts. When I go on my walk on the loop, listen to my podcasts. And there was a practice that was expressed by someone who, it was a person who had called in The podcast had asked for people to call in and talk about, love practices, things like that. And so somebody called in and said this was a practice that they had learned from their mother, that if you imagined your life as though you were walking around all the time holding a bouquet of flowers, and that what was yours to do was to give flowers away. If you only gave the flowers away, you would be depleted of the flower. Now imagine the flowers representing that infinite love. You would deplete yourself, right? So you have to have a willingness to live in the infinite circulation of love by receiving flowers as well. And letting it be in balance, because if we give too much, we can be depleted. If we take too much, we can be overwhelmed, and it can crush us. So it's about keeping a healthy bouquet of giving and receiving. So imagine your life is like that the love you give is equal to the love you choose to receive. And it's all choice. Let yourself give and receive from your own bouquet as well. What do I mean by that? I mean, it's not always about the other person. How frequently do we look in the mirror and say, I love you, to ourselves? How frequently do we look in the mirror and offer love to ourselves? I think too infrequently, personally. That's just my own take. I know it's too infrequent for myself, and so I'm committing myself right in this moment to activate that as a practice in my life. More consistently, to look in the mirror and say, I know who you are. I love you, and I accept you just the way you are. Ultimately, don't go searching for love in the external world, because I know what you will find are only illusions. Instead, search for life within yourself. Who is the person you talk to the most? Think about that for a moment. Everyone's like, oh, I know where this is going. You're right. The person you talk to the most is yourself. Do you speak to yourself with kindness? Do you speak to yourself with compassion? Or do you find some other way of communicating with yourself? Just check in. It's a rhetorical question. Just imagine. Well, let me tell you. No. Speak to yourself with respect and with kindness. There are 6 ancient Greek words that all mean love in one form or another. Have you heard these 6 words? I'm going to tell them to you, so if you haven't, you're going to learn. Eros, fiery and irrational love. Sexual love. Ooh, he said that in church. It's where we get the word erotic. Eros, that kind of love. Philia, deep, intimate friendship. Deep, intimate friendship. That's where we get Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, that friendship love, right? Ludus, playful love, like the love between children. I love that. Agape, you ever hear that word? Agape, selfless love extended to all. The Latin translation of agape is caritas, which is the origin of the word charity. Pragma, long-standing love developed over time. And philautia, self-love, not narcissism. Not narcissism. Rather, a love of self that runs so deep that it allows for the love of others. Now, I said that these are from the ancient Greek because these same words in contemporary Greek have taken on different meanings, because you know what? Words change meaning. So if you look it up in contemporary Greek, you're going to see slightly different. You're going to see some variations to that. So we all express at some point in our lives, throughout our lives, every aspect of these, right? Is there anyone? Well, you don't know. I'm not going to ask that question. We can learn from our acceptance of these ideas, the ways in which we choose to be the hero and the love interest in our own story of life, in our personal story. Now, we may express as the hero does, That's through love. Or we may repress love as the antagonist of our story does. So what is your tendency? Something to reflect on. What is your tendency to express or repress? If you're not sure what your tendency is, look at the way you care for yourself. Because it all begins with who you are, right at the core. How you choose to care for yourself is the way you show up in this world. See past any illusion that you may have created. See past any illusion that you may have created that tells yourself that you are not the love interest of your own life story. Choose to live in the highest possible way. You get to decide what that is. I'm not here to tell you what that is. I'm here to say, find it out for yourself. Engage in the practice of finding it out for yourself so that you can live life more magnificently with light at its core. Speak highly of yourself and hold others up to their highest as well. It is the law. It is a law that the one who sees what they want to see, regardless of what appears, will someday experience in the outer what they have so faithfully seen in the within. If you are fed up with what you are seeing in the outer, the way to change that is not to try to change the outer. It is to reflect and see the truth from within. Let's enlarge our understanding of compassion. Let us enlarge our understanding of infinite love. When we see only infinite love, we experience only infinite love. And that is the practice of seeing past illusion. You are magnificent. Peace and blessings to you. The homework this week. What? Did somebody just boo me? It sounded like somebody just booed me. The homework this week. Here's what I would like you to do. Practice curiosity. I want you to practice curiosity. I want you to spend the week noticing. That's it. Spend the week noticing. But here's the thing. Spend the week noticing. Simply notice. And then notice what you notice. Be an observer. You'll hear me say this in meditation a lot. Just notice. Now notice what you notice. If you ever listen to the meditations on Sunday mornings, I often say that because it's a great practice for me to remind myself. So you get what works for me. Be an observer without letting opinion or judgment take over. That's a loving thing to do, to be able to observe without letting opinion or judgment take over. In noticing, choose to see through the lens of infinite love. So let's just take this opportunity right where we are to relax and see if there's any kernel of truth that has resonated within our hearts. As I said before, you may not believe everything you hear today, but I imagine there's something you've heard that you do believe. Let that be present in your mind and in your heart right now. In the stillness of this moment, I feel love. I feel love. In the stillness of this moment, I feel love. I feel love. And I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment, I feel love. In the stillness of this moment, I am peace. your perfect moment, letting go of anything that has preceded this moment and releasing any anticipation of what may unfold in the future, I allow myself to be present in the here and now and invite us all to do the same thing. There is one power, one presence, one infinite source for all that is, and this is the core identity of each and every one of us. We are this power. We are the I am that I am, each and every one of us. Laying claim to this understanding, I speak my word to know that infinite love, compassion, joy, inner peace, and an allowance of beauty flows forth from within each and every one of us as we create a new consciousness that is rooted in love only, forgiving everything and remembering who we are. I trust in the unfoldment of this energy worldwide and know that we here in this moment affect the entire world in a magnificent way that awakens all. This is my choice. This is my love. And so I simply let it be with a grateful heart. I allow it to unfold, knowing that it is done as I have spoken it. And I affirm it as so by saying, and so it is. Amen. In the stillness of this moment, I am love. I am love. In the stillness of this moment, I am love. I am love. And I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment I am love. It's Roberta today. I was like, who's offering today? Please welcome the secretary of our board of directors, Roberta Latham, as she joins me here on stage. Hello, hello. I can give you a hand. Grateful to have you here, as always.
Wow, how many people today. This is wonderful.
Yeah,
Yeah, grateful to be here. We're in good company, right?
indeed.
It's okay. So I'm here to talk about the opportunity we have now to give back, as you probably figured out. Giving back to Unity is an act of love and acceptance and all the things that we talk about, a way of circulating the love and respect that we have for each other. So let's hold what you have to offer in your hand and bless it. If you're on an automatic giver, there are little cards in the back of the seats. You can grab one of those and put it in the basket to indicate to us that you're giving online or through your bank account. And that's a very easy way to do things. But let's speak out loud together our conscious giving statement. I share this gift with love, conscious of the inner presence of the lavish source and substance of my supply. I am rooted in the assurance that this gift blesses Unity of Tucson, and I trust in its ever-present circulation. There's that word. Knowing its blessings return to me.
And so it is. Feel free to stand and move your body as the baskets go around. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful. I am so grateful, and I'm so grateful for everyone who is here today, as always. A couple of things that I want to, of course, remind you of. We do have our spiritual education series, which continues. We have a Wednesday night class that is almost over already. I can't believe it. And we have another class that begins on the Wednesday evening, March 23rd. The 12 Powers is being taught by our licensed Unity teacher, Susan Smith, who is, where are you, Susan? There she is. Grateful that you are teaching that class Wednesday nights. You can sign up for the bookstore, or you can sign up in the bookstore, or you can sign up online for that class. So check that out. God and Mankind, this lecture series that has been offered by Ed Savard, is continuing. It will be, of course, in Annex Room 4 today. We have a new 3-week class coming up called Good News About Your Brain. 3 wellness classes is what is being offered to improve your mental skills. They'll be on Tuesdays at 2 p.m., March 15th through the 29th with Dr. James Gardiner. He is presenting this by a love offering. So there's no tuition for the class. He is asking that you just come, enjoy the class, and provide a love offering in support of that class. I'm super excited about that. He is a neuropsychologist and has some really great skills that he is offering to this community. Super excited about that. The NAMI Walk is going to happen on April 2nd for the National Association for Mental Illness. We have a Unity team that is going to be participating in that walk. If you'd like to know more about how to participate in that walk, there is information in Harmony Hall, where we are also enjoying coffee and cowboy beans, right, Molly? Yes, we have cowboy beans today in honor of rodeo, so check that out. I don't know about beans and coffee. That does not sound like a good combination, but I'm going to go with it. It's okay. But the NAMI Walk, you can find out about the NAMI Walk in Harmony Hall. Please welcome our Youth and Family Ministries Manager, Chris Paxton, to the stage. How are you today?
Great.
Do you have any little ones for us?
We had one bigger one.
You had one bigger one, okay. That's okay.
But we were very busy.
Sorry, you should speak into the microphone so everyone online can hear you.
So we were very busy today. We didn't have any little ones, but we did have a bigger one. And, you know, a lot of stuff happening in the world right now that impact all of us, including our youth and our teens. So we focused on the idea of love. And Sue, who works with the teens mostly, brought forward the concept of the Love Project, and we talked about the affirmation of only love prevails. And we talked about that, and we talked about how it doesn't matter if you're 500 miles away or 5,000 miles away. When you project love energy out into the universe, it is of value, and we are not powerless to have impact. So that was kind of our theme for the day. Some of you may have little sayings on your car, so please know that that was done with intention and love for you all. So, and just a couple of updates. One is I'd like to invite everyone over to the annex. So if you don't know about our youth program or have never been to our classrooms, today we would invite you to come over and take a peek into our rooms. They're right over in the annex building right over here. So we'll have the doors open and we can talk a little bit about our space and share with you what we do and what our visions are for the future. One concrete vision that we have for the future is on May 21st, we have set a deadline because Jonathan and I both work very well with deadlines. We are going to be presenting a workshop called Spirituality in the Modern Family. And we're going to open this up to the community as well. And hopefully it will be a launch to a great outreach program for internal and external families. And that means families are built in very different ways these days. So if you are a lover of children, if you have grandchildren, if you are a parent, if you are an aunt or uncle or somehow are involved with children, it would be appropriate. And we'll continue to share information with you about that as we develop that program.
Thank you, Chris.
The end.
Yeah. If you'd like, yes, thank you so much. If you would like to volunteer to work with our youth, you can sign up in the foyer, or you can send an email to yfm@unitytucson.com. We'd love to have your support. Today's prayer chaplains in service following the completion of our celebration today are Sue Craik, there she is, and Deborah Walker, there she is. If you are in need of a few moments of prayer, you can seek them out here in the sanctuary following the service. You can also submit a prayer request in our prayer chest, our prayer box, which is in the foyer. So take advantage of the fact that we offer prayer here. Use the prayer chaplains, use the tools you have available to you. I want to say thank you to our magnificent tech team, Wally and Don and Greg, for your service and making us seen and heard. I would like to say thank you to Lynn and to Sherry and to Roberta for your participation today in service. Thank you so much. Thank you, Chris, for letting us know about what's happening with the little ones. Let us, of course, offer great gratitude to this magnificent team of musicians, Linda and Joshua and Raphael. I really want to say thank you to each and every one of you for shining your light, letting your love be the way that you lead your life. And grateful to have you here, whether you're here in the room or online. What a magnificent day and a magnificent celebration this has been. Let us close today by reading together this closing prayer. I am infinite light. I am infinite love. I am infinite power. I am infinite presence. Wherever God is, I am. Wherever I am, God is. And so it is. Amen. Feel free to dance the day as we complete our time here. Think of your fellow man, lend him a helping hand. Put a little love in your heart. You see it's getting late. Oh, please don't hesitate. Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. Just wait and see. Another day goes by, and still the children cry. Put a little love in your heart. If you want the world to know we won't let hatred grow, put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. Just wait and see. Wait